+1. Hey, how's it going, man? We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
No, what? No intro?
No intro. We just went live. I figured
Ah,
people were waiting long enough as it is. So
yeah, that's true. What's going on, folks?
yeah.
Adrian,
Hold on a sec. Let me just.
who else is on?
Yeah. And I was like scattering. And let me just put this out here. Hold on. Put that there so people, if they want to join us, by all means, they can join us. Hey, Adrian, how are you? Yeah. So, what a busy weekend. Friday night, we had the investigation of the Spruce Lane Farmhouse.
Yes, we did.
Um, and sorry to the folks that were waiting on here for the live investigation sort of thing. It didn't go on until much later, and we really didn't get a lot of time to do a lot of that because we just didn't, unfortunately. Next time, we will try to do something a little bit more. But yeah, but interesting nonetheless. What do you think of your time there?
Well, I didn't get sick this time, at least. Um, it's always an interesting place to go to, but I wasn't getting anything that on Friday.
No, it was intriguing. Some of the areas, I think, up in the attic. I always find it intriguing, and we have it. We captured you scaring the shit out of Dr. Demon Gord. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was the highlight of my night. I'm sure he hates me for it, but it
he
was
got in
worth
the
it.
he got in the car and he says, "Sorry if it smells like shit." Oh, I was laughing.
Oh, it's classic, man.
It was hilarious.
You guys gotta go if you haven't watched the video. It is up on our channel. Go
I
check it
gotta
out.
I gotta switch the privacy on it. I think
Okay,
I,
all
I
right.
gotta switch.
I,
I think it's unlisted, but
Once
I'll put,
Steve does that, go watch it because it's
yeah.
hilarious. You'll hear Dr. Demon Gord scream.
Yeah, you'll see us up in the attic, and I'm kind of like, hey, we're doing an investigation here at the Spruce Lane Farmhouse. We're in the attic right now doing an EVP session, and then all of a sudden in the background, you hear what? Scared the shit out of,
Oh,
and then
you'll
you
hear
hear
the fucking hell.
yeah, and then you hear Alex just laughing his ass
Yeah.
off.
Hey,
It was
I had to make
hilarious.
the night interesting, right?
It was hilarious. It was really hilarious. And I've been going through some of the audio. I haven't really had a chance to go through it extensively to see if there's anything there. And hey, is there going to be something there? I think there might be. I really do.
Yeah, think
I
so.
honest. I just have this feeling.
I hope
And
so because, like I said, I mean, I wasn't getting any sort of um, vibe, for lack of a
mm,
better term.
but I
Um,
mean, we say that a lot though when we go in there. It seems kind of quiet tonight, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, you go and look, you go listen to the audio or something, and it's like, holy shit!
well, like I said, I mean, I'm hoping that there's something on audio, in all honesty, because at least it would make the trip worthwhile in a sense,
Mm,
right?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It was cool. I love that place. Just an interesting, unique little place. And I was on hand at the park this evening and yesterday for their annual ghost walks,
Mm.
which is intriguing too. I mean, it's fun talking to people who walk through the house for the very first time, and they listen to all the EVPs and stuff that we've captured over the years, and the stories that they hear and that, and then they come down and they ask questions afterwards by the campfire, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Talking. I met quite a few people, and in fact, some people, a couple people that might be interested in having their place investigated or
Oh, okay.
one. Yeah. So I mean, hey, anything's possible, right? But I'll tell you, I was bitten alive. Holy crap! And I think it's because there's storm cells in the area. It's brutal.
I was fucking storming here for a good hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
Uh,
bad.
yeah, I heard it was pretty bad out by the Barrie Innisfil, sort of out
There
that
too,
way.
yeah. And there was
Yeah.
a cluster that just captured like Brampton and South Caledon where I'm at. And it
Mm.
was just sort of hovering around. It wasn't moving fast enough, so it lasted for I would say a good hour.
Yeah. I mean, it was great at the park, nothing. But as soon as I got home and I parked the car in the driveway, it started to rain.
Mm.
But nothing major, just a few drops. And that, I mean, as far as I can see, it's kind of raining still a little bit, but it doesn't like it's nothing major. Just, you know, it's funny because the weather said like 80% chance,
Yeah.
up to 5 millimeters of rain. But I don't think we're going to get that
Well, in some
here.
places here where it
Mhm.
hit here is supposed to have brought close to 100 millimeters.
Wow.
Yeah, not where I'm at, thankfully, but I've seen some videos already posted on Facebook for some people I know that live in Brampton, and it seems like they got fucking downpoured on it. It's pretty
Wow.
good.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Um, if anybody would like to join us, by all means, you're more than welcome. The link is pinned to the top of our chat here in the YouTube chat. So if you want to join us, if you have a story, like a scary tale,
Spooky tale.
spooky tale, or this crazy location that you've heard stories about, or whatever else, hey, we'd love to hear them. And I'm sure the rest of you out there watching would love to hear them too. Right. Um, and that was cool about tonight. I mean, listening to people's experiences. Had a family from India who was out this evening who had some very, very interesting stories from back home. And I
Really?
mean,
Huh.
oh yeah, really, really intriguing stories. And India, like a lot of South Asian countries, they are steep in traditional spiritual sort of aspect of this.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
You know, the Philippines, like I mean, Paranormal Patrick. Look at he says a prayer of protection before he goes into the woodland.
Does he actually do that?
I think he's done it once or twice.
Uh,
But I mean, they're heavily believe in the spiritual world.
yeah.
So I mean, there's some really, really cool tales, stories that they shared this evening around the campfire, and that's what I love about the ghost walk. It's not really a ghost walk. It's more, going into the Spruce Lane Farmhouse, and they sort of give you a glimpse and show you what it's like, what death was like in that period, right? During that period.
Yeah.
And of course, people are intrigued. Oh, this old house, it must have ghosts and spirits and some tales. And of course, they share all the experiences that a lot of the staff members have had in the house, and the stuff that we've experienced over the years, and play some of the EVPs that we've captured over the years, which is pretty neat. But they also have a campfire, so when you show up, you can sit around until your tour goes off into the house, and then afterwards, people were coming by and sitting by the fire and just talking about it. I love that. It's
Yeah,
really
that's pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah.
It's cool. You know, this
I don't think that happens enough, to be honest with you.
no, it's like almost it seems like it's a lost art.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of things in this technology age, that is like it's dying losing battle, so to speak. You
We need to
know?
resurrect it.
Huh?
So we need to resurrect it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I'll show this, you know. I absolutely believe that. You know, in the West, it's like a lot of things that we've seemed to have lost here in the Western world. That is absolutely 100% agreeable. Yeah. And it's sad, you know. I mean, it's all. I don't know. I'm very content to go out to, you know, and I think that's why I like the fall the most, because the fall these things sort of happen more so than the rest of the year, right?
Mm.
I mean, you know,
Well, we're more open to it as
well,
individuals too, because of the
yeah,
tradition around Halloween, right?
yeah, exactly. You know, it's really, yeah, it's a lost art. It's scary. I think that's scary in itself. But, so what did you think of that a haunted attraction I shared with you?
That looks pretty cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
What is it? Reaper? What is it? Reaper?
Let me see.
Reaper's like Reaper
I'll bring it up
something.
now. Hold on.
And you literally travel through this haunted forest at night in this topless school bus. And of course, you
Reaper's
know,
Realm.
yeah, Reaper's Realm. It's somewhere close to the Tecumseh St. Clair area, which is down by Windsor.
Yeah.
Seems like they have a few down there. I know there was another one I was looking at, but that one looked intriguing. The fact that you go through this haunted haunted forest at night in this, you know, topless topless school bus. And it's really neat because they got torches on the back of it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So you go through this pitch black forest. And, you know, people climb on the bus because it's going slow enough. I mean, obviously, these people are trained and whatever. I've done it a million times. Not saying that, you know, things can happen. I mean, unfortunately, things can happen, but you like to think they don't happen. But they scare the shit out of you.
That's the
You
whole
know,
point.
exactly. But the neat thing, the pinnacle of this that I love the most is the fact that you're going through this forest at night.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so cool. It's sort of like how we've and I'd like to do it this year if they're doing it this year. The Hermitage Ruins Ghost Walk.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's always fun, you know, going through the forest at night.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
No, well, because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So I should look into that because I'd love to do that this year again. I think if it's going, I think it'd be pretty cool. You know, I've been looking at festivals and stuff to do in and around the area. Um, and I think this year again we're going to stay in Lewiston. Hey, Simon, good to see you.
Hey Simon.
Um, Lewiston again this year, probably I don't know the first week of October. I love going to Lewiston. I don't know what it is, but it's a neat little town, especially in the fall. It gives you that sort of fall like feeling, you know, that really cool feeling. And we're gonna go to the the Clarence pumpkin patch.
Okay.
And that place is amazing, man. I mean, I don't know if I've ever shown you pictures or not.
You may have. I can't remember.
And this place is awesome. It's in Clarence, New York, which is it's not too far from Lewiston, New York, or something like that. I don't know, but it's on this huge farm. They've got everything there. They've got like kids rides, corn maze. They got a haunted maze inside an old building,
Okay.
House of Horrors, Frankenstein's House of Horrors or whatever.
Horrors or whores?
Yeah, Horrors.
I'm in.
They got this every year they do this it looks like it's like a pyramid of pumpkins. Huge pyramid of pumpkins, and there's literally hundreds of these pumpkins. And then they got these big ass skeletons climbing up scaling the side of it. It's awesome. And then
Sounds
they
good. Sounds
huh?
interesting. Sounds interesting.
I love the place, man. I really wish we had something like that here. We don't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much to put something like that together. It really doesn't.
No, it's just it doesn't seem like the people here are they're not as interested for some stupid reason,
I know.
right? I mean, Halloween is fun. It's
It
supposed to be
is.
fun,
It
right?
is.
People make it into too much uh, than what it actually is. Like, the, there's schools in Ontario that are banning
I
people from
know.
wearing costumes.
I know.
And what they're doing is they're taking it's not even a holiday really,
Hmm.
but they're taking it and really making it a statement of religion when it's like, you know what, just fuck off. It's fun for the kids. Just go fuck yourself. Seriously.
Yeah, well, as you know, and from the past, if you know anything, it really irks us.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I was a kid, I loved it. I loved going to school in a dressed up in a costume for Halloween.
Yeah.
It wasn't a problem, but now with some schools, it's like, oh no, they can wear like orange
Yeah.
or whatever. What? Seriously? Come on.
Back in grade school,
Yeah.
when we moved to Toronto for grade 7, I started here in grade 7, but in grade 8, I attended, well, both grade 7 and grade 8, I attended a Catholic school, which is close to where I lived.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think this, but around Halloween, they actually did like a haunted house sort of theme. What they told us to do for each class, set up your classroom as a haunted house, and other classes would come in, go through the haunted house, and rate which one was the best one. And this is a Catholic school, right? You wouldn't think that a Catholic school would allow something like this to happen, right? But they
Yeah.
did. And our grade 8 class won because, we were all twisted. The guys that I was assigned with to do our bit, we all came up with this brilliant idea of, having some, like, one guy was supposed to play dead, and I was going to be the one holding a knife and a heart, right? It
Yeah.
kind of looked like I was killing him and ripping his heart out. So we managed to get our hands on a real cow's heart, right? Mind you, this is grade 8, right? But we did. We managed to get ourselves an actual cow's heart, and was other students and teachers were walking by, we'd scare the shit out of them. I'd turn around with this bloody knife and a heart, and most people would shit their pants, like Gort did on Friday. And one guy goes, "No, that's not real." And then I had him touch it, and he fucking freaked out and ran out of the fucking room. But we had a fucking blast. It was great.
Yeah, All Hallows Eve is a Christian holiday variation.
It's been Christianized.
Yeah, it's been
That's the
Christianized.
thing,
Yeah.
right? It's not
But
originally a Christian holiday.
when you look at the Druid sort of pagan sort of aspect of Sam Hain and all that kind of shit, then that's what I'm talking about, man.
It's just I don't even like. I'm not religious anyway. I don't look at this as a religious holiday. I just look
I
at it
don't
as
either.
I look at it as a fun time for kids. Go out, get spooked, get some
Well,
candy, get the chance.
you know, it's weird. It's like you being from Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is something you really didn't do when you were a kid in Italy,
No,
right?
they don't celebrate.
Why were you so repressed there that you broke open when you came here? What?
No, it's not even just that. I mean, I was so young when we immigrated to Canada. Didn't have
How old were you
actually
again? I know
8.
I've asked you that a million times. So
I
8.
was 8 when we moved to Canada.
And like Halloween, was it an instant hit with you, or did it take
No, it
time?
wasn't an instant hit at all.
So it took time.
It as I got older, it sort of grew on me, I guess, for lack of a better term. Right? It was
Mhm.
just something that I fell in love with because of all the the spookiness of it. Right?
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason why I enjoy it so much. Right? It's a
Did
time
you?
to live in a I don't know how to even put this properly, but you're like, okay, it's you don't see too much. Like I like horror movies. I like
Mhm.
watching horror movies. I'm not a movie guy. I'm not.
No.
If
Yeah.
there's one on,
We've
you know,
established that already.
yeah, many times we've established that. But I'm not a fanatic. But I'll watch around that time of the year if something's on, and there's bound to be some horror movies around. I'll watch it around that time just because it adds the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's I'm already lining up what I need to watch this year. I mean, there's so many movies that I always watch. I mean, I watch them all the time, but I mean, I always have a horror fest. You know that I always
Yep.
have a horror fest. Unfortunately, the last few years because of COVID, I haven't been able to do it. Am I doing it this year? I'd love to do it this year, but if I do it this year, it'll be on a small scale, smaller. And I would love to sit down and watch some flicks with some friends again in the name of in tribute to my friend Pat, who the reason why I have been doing this since his death in 2001. I mean, him and I were huge horror movie fans,
Yeah.
and we would sit down and watch movies for hours. And I I'm that type of guy. Look at hey, how could I pay tribute to him, man? And it's funny. I wouldn't do it on his birthday, which is in June. I'd always do it on the in and around the day of his death, which is October 16th.
Right.
And I always thought, well, you know what? He always thought it was his birthday, anyways. He always loved October. It was his favorite time of the year, and
Hmm.
I said, hey, why not? It's only fitting to do it in October, and hey, he loved Halloween. He was a big Halloween fan. He would do up he would do up his house with all his horror movie paraphernalia, right? Like
Okay.
posters, stand-ups, whatever. Because he already had it, he didn't, go out. And this guy would live Halloween 24/7, right? 365 days a year. But he would decorate the house with his stand-ups. Like he'd have a stand-up of Leatherface and Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers and all this, and he'd,
Nice.
you know,
Yeah.
put it in his porch area and scare the shit out of the kids. Oh, come on. If you're not scaring the shit out of the kids, you're not having fun.
That's just it.
That's it.
It's freaking it's enjoyable, right? Especially when you're talking about and I'm not talking about little like 2-year-olds or whatever. That's way too small. But I'm talking about kids that are like 9, 10, preteens, teens. I remember one year, with the haunted house that my old neighbor and I have done for so many years.
Mhm.
We'd have, you'd obviously have the little kids with their parents, fine, but you also have the teenagers who wanted to come by and get some candy later on at night, right? And those are the most fun to scare,
Yeah.
right? We've scared some kids, like teenagers, so badly that they flipped over my neighbor's hedge fell on the floor, got up, and just ran down the street. It's freaking hilarious. We scared parents. Parents is another fun thing for me to scare. Those are the freaking greatest. I mean, I remember one year
Uh,
I was wearing my Grim Reaper's costume, and the hoodie covered my face. I had my arms in my sleeves so you couldn't see my arms, and I was sat right there at the end of the walkway on the sidewalk. And this is towards the end of the night, and we saw a straggler family coming up, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and just not move. And so they came up to our house. The kids went up to the porch to get candy, and one of the mothers goes to the other one and goes, "Is that real?" And then she sits on my lap, right? So I'm like, okay, and I wait a few seconds. I don't say anything right away because I go, I want to play with this. Bad choice of words, but anyway, you get what I mean. I want to get to this, and all I said to her after a few seconds was, "Comfy," and you should have heard her scream. She screamed and just ran down the fucking street. It was hilarious.
You know, it's funny. I'm bad. I'm bad at trying to scare people, and I got to show you this video. And if Patrick's listening, he's gonna kill
Paranormal
me.
Patrick.
Yeah, but I have to show this because this is classic. Hold on, I'm gonna try to like upload it here. Hold on, give me a sec here. And I don't know what it is. I'm bad at scaring people. I'm bad. I'm horrible. I'm sorry if I've scared you in the past. I'm horrible. I'm condemned to hell for scaring people. Especially Patrick. When you see this, I'm telling you, man. Okay,
Are you talking about you're horrible in the sense that you scare people? You like to scare people a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's why I like, doing up my, decorating my house every Halloween.
Yeah.
I love seeing kids frightened.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when I was a kid and going to Niagara Falls, and I remember my dad would say, okay, let's go to the House of Frankenstein. And back then you had to go down these stairs into the actual House of Frankenstein, and the stairs weren't lit. So you're walking down this dark corridor, and you're like, I don't want to fucking go down there. What are you, nuts? It's sort of payback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got to get this video now. Hold on. Oh, let's see. But yeah, it was like a form of payback, if you will. That I scare kids, and I don't know why, but okay, I just want to make sure I got the right video here. Oh, and this is at work. And Patrick's pulling off a load from a truck, and I'm hiding inside the truck.
I think I saw that one already, but yeah, it's funny.
Okay, hold on. Let me just see if I can mail it to myself. I think I should be able to. Yeah, but I'm going to have to change it. Hold on. But I don't know if it'll play, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see if it shows up. It's a video, so it'll take some time to show up. But yeah. What Dan says there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, join us if you're bored. Come on in. We'd love to have you. Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can get this video. And poor Patrick. This guy is like a, trained security guy sort of thing, right? Oh, look at that. I can download it, but I can't preview it, which is fine. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can bring it in. Hold on. Let's see. And Justin might actually join us.
When today?
Yeah.
Good old Justin.
But we'll see. Okay, let's bring this into video.
That's a guy I'd like to scare.
Yeah, Justin?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I know. Okay. Okay, let's see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'll just switch the. I'll just convert the file. Okay. Oh, it's gonna play anyway. I gotta play it again. I gotta play it.
Just call you a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I could play this over and over. It's hilarious. Oh my god.
Poor guy.
Hey, well known. How you doing? Oh man. I know, hey, poor guy. If he's watching, he's got to come on here.
Yeah, he's gonna come on there and give you shit.
Well, you know what? We'll entice him to come on.
Yeah.
We'll play it for him. That's hilarious.
Did you guys go out and do the drone footage yet?
No, probably this week.
Ah, cool.
And I want to get it before I want to get it before we before the corn
Harvest
start.
season?
Yeah, well, it usually takes them a while before they plow it. Like they probably won't plow it by the time we go in and start shooting again.
Really?
Yeah, probably not.
I know they usually do it late for corn.
Yeah. So I mean, so I want to get it though. Obviously, add to the documentary. If anybody wants to join us, by all means, we'd love to have you. I'm sure a lot of you out there have some cool tales to tell, scares, and maybe locations you've been to that are pretty freaky. You know, I know I've been to a lot of freaky places. What's well? Is it the Whitby Insane Asylum the freakiest place you've been to? Do you think, or has there
To
been
date?
somewhere to date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say yeah. I would say that.
And why is that? Just the fact that its background, it's like, oh man, here's this big fucking.
Yeah, that's part of it, but just like the general ambiance of the place.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally looked like a movie set for a horror movie, one of those slasher films. Right? You
Yeah.
had everything like strewn all over the floor, graffiti everywhere, paint peeling off the fucking, like your typical fucking horror movie setup, right?
Mhm.
So it was one of those scenarios, and everybody was not everybody. There was a lot of things we heard about this because it was a complex, right? It was comprised of multiple different buildings. And there was one building, I think it was could have been building 13. I can't remember if that's the exact building, but there was one building that everybody said, "Oh yeah, this is the where a lot of people got experimented on, and there's a bunch of activity there."
What do you mean experimented on?
Well, this like electroshock therapy and that kind of stuff.
Lobotomy
Right?
time.
Yeah, so we wanted to go and check it out, and it was the only building out of the whole complex that was fenced off. Right. But well, I shouldn't say someone else obviously did this because someone had already broken the fence so that you could still get in.
Oh, sure. Blame somebody else, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm sticking with. So we ended up going in and checking it out, and it was a very cool vibe. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where it's like, yeah, if anything's going to be haunted, this place has got to be haunted kind of deal. You know what I mean? It just it had the look for it.
So do you, thinking back, about your time there that you spent there and everything else, do you think it was haunted? Do you think it's haunted, or Is it just because of the stories people told about the place, and just because it's this big old abandoned, psych
Well,
ward building, whatever.
we didn't hear direct stories about the place or what
Yeah.
happened. Like we didn't hear kind of stories like that, but I think there was definitely something going on there because we caught, like I said, I caught a pretty decent EVP. Plus, we had a scenario where it was about 5 or 6 of us who had gone up there one night, and two of the guys that came with us were skeptical. Right?
Okay.
They didn't necessarily believe in any paranormal stuff. So
Yeah.
we were just having coffee. We were all having coffee one day, and they were talking about. I was telling them about this place, and they're like, "Well, let's go up there now." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, okay, let's go." Right. So it was a, we off the cuff sort of thing. Like we just got in our cars, drove out to Whitby. I showed them the place. We went into this one building, and it was a single floor building with a basement, so there was no second floor to it. We went in through the east side of the building because that's the
Mhm.
only way you could get in. Everything else was boarded up. And as soon as you get into this one main room. And the way it was comprised is you had two rooms, one right after the other, and then a hallway connecting two other big rooms at the other end, and then access to the basement. So we had entered on the one side, on the east side,
Yeah.
into the one big room, and we kind of looked in this room, looked in the other main room that was attached to it, and we were kind of recording and whatnot. And then we decided, okay, let's go all the way to the other end. And
Mhm.
as we were walking, now this place is a fair size. You're gonna
Yeah.
get echoing, obviously, right?
Mhm.
But we all heard this on top of our footsteps and the echoing that we were hearing, the slight echoing. We heard additional footsteps behind us from where we were coming from because we were going to the other two rooms. So now the footsteps were coming from behind us where we had originally come from.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of looked at each other and we're like, I was one of the two people who had a flashlight. So I told the other person with the flashlight, take everybody, continue going to the other side. I'm gonna go back to where we came from. I'm gonna see if maybe somebody came in. Because a lot of people used to go there and just either investigate or just get spooked or even drink, right? I went back and I didn't see anybody inside the rooms. I checked both places. So then I waved at everybody and I motioned to everybody to come back to where I was,
Yeah.
right? So they'd come back towards me, and now we were hearing the footsteps on the opposite side where the group was, waiting for me, right?
Yeah.
And as they were coming back, the footsteps were coming from that side that they had just left. But there's no access to the building from the outside from that side because everything was boarded off.
Mhm.
So the two skeptics, the people who didn't believe,
Mhm.
were the ones who, at some point after hearing all of this, just wanted to get the fuck out of there and go back home. I'm like, but you guys were the ones who suggested coming up here. We only did just one building. And they were fucking shitting bricks. They just wanted to go back home. They
Were
wanted to
were
get out
they
of there. And
were
so,
they maybe shitting bricks because they thought they were gonna get in trouble for being in
no,
there?
it wasn't that.
But is that an excuse they might have used, though?
No, they didn't use that excuse. They literally just
Oh.
wanted to get out of there because they were spooked.
But that's the
So
thing, I mean, I don't care. The most hardcore is a person that says they don't get spooked. When you go into the right location, I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really been to a location that has really, like, frightened the shit out of me.
No, neither have I. Not
I
that it's
mean,
frightening the
I
shit out of me like that. No.
yeah, I mean, where I'm running and screaming like
Yeah.
a little schoolgirl or something like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've been to locations, that have made me feel uneasy.
Sure.
Um,
Whippy Psycho was one of them for me. Yeah.
yeah,
It made me feel uneasy. Yeah.
you know? But, I mean, for the most part, most of the locations that I've been to, and I've been to a shitload, like, I mean, I think one of the locations that I thought, "Okay, this place is gonna scare the shit out of me," was, Waverly Hills Sanitarium. I thought, "Okay, this place is crazy." Like, when you drive up to that place for the very first time, you're like, "Oh, man, this place is crazy." because it's so massive, right?
Yeah.
It's huge. I think it's like 800,000 square feet in total, something like that.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, 4 or 5 floors.
So
Uh, uh,
the Whippy site would have been bigger
well, yeah, because it was
area wise.
complex, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, for this, for a building, it was
Yeah. It's a massive building.
massive building,
Yeah.
And there was a thing that they would do, like, they would dare you to walk from one end of the building to the next on the fourth floor without any lights.
How the fuck are you supposed to see where you're going?
Well, because it's you know what, it is well lit. It really is at night there. It was the moon alone just lit that place up. And you got to remember, it's an open air building, so it's
Okay.
got large open air windows because it was a tuberculosis hospital. And back
Right.
then, they thought that the best medication for
It was open
uh,
air.
was open air. So these things are huge, and there's no windows on them anymore, except for the bottom 2 floors. I think they put windows on them. But when we were there, the top 3 floors had no windows.
Okay.
But it was early August 4th, something like that, 4th. And I remember it was fucking hot as friggin' hell at night. It was probably at least 109 Fahrenheit, at least.
Mm.
It was so fucking hot and humid. It was so insane. Carrying all the equipment up to the top floor was just insane. I didn't think we were going to make it. I thought for sure that one of us was going to have a heart attack. It was so bad. But thankfully, it didn't rain that night. I mean, it probably would have been welcoming.
Yeah.
But the moon was bright as hell because I mean, there wasn't a cloud in sight.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'd
Especially
probably do it.
Huh?
So I'd probably do it. I'd
Yeah.
probably be the stooge that goes from one end of the building to the other.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it, man. And you know what? I don't have to worry about any bats clinging to my hair because I didn't have any hair.
That's right.
Because they would say, well, something's grabbing my hair. And obviously it's, something paranormal instead of thinking, well, maybe it might be bats.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But most go running and screaming thinking that, oh, some ghost has grabbed my hair. But that's the problem with these places. The one thing I found, like, don't get me wrong, I loved Waverly Hills. I loved it. I love, especially being on the top floor
Mhm.
and the outside. It was a beautiful night, hot, but the moon shining brightly and just seeing down below, like Louisville, Kentucky, because this thing is propped up on a hillside looking down, right? Again, because to take advantage of, like, the air, they felt that propping this building up on a hillside such as it is, and it's just absolutely beautiful at night. You see Louisville, Kentucky in the distance, and you see other stuff in the distance. And like I have pictures. I took pictures, low light pictures. I mean, they turned out okay, not great, because I'm a person who likes to take natural lit photos. I prefer it. And if I can do it, I'd rather do it. Because I always find that, with a flash, you don't capture the essence of what you're experiencing. Right? Because you're only going so far as to how far the flash is flashing.
Yep. And plus, the flash obscures other stuff too.
in the distance,
Yeah.
you know. But I absolutely love that place, you know. But the one thing I found was they would force feed you all these stories,
Yeah.
you know, about this, about that, and I think one of the paranormal occurrences that they were saying was called Big Black, and it was just this big black shadow person that would, you know, come down one of the halls towards you, and you know, whatever. I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah.
You know, and I told the guys, I said, you know what? Whatever you do, don't let don't let this shit get to your head. Keep your mind open and set that stuff being set aside. Because you're never going to get anything proper here if you're going to allow them to force feed you and, you know, influence your thought. You're going to go down a hallway thinking, "Oh my god, there's Big Black's going to come out any minute here," and you know.
Yeah. It's a shame that they do that. I mean, I can kind of see why they do that to an extent. If it's just a regular tour,
Mhm.
yeah, obviously you want to add the creep factor. But I mean, if it's an investigation team going on there, they shouldn't be saying anything.
They fill it up. They fill it up with so much there. I literally would call it, yeah, the Disney of the paranormal world,
Yeah.
more or
Is that
less. You
place still
know,
going on or what?
what, Waverly?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, you can still, but you pay an arm and a leg. I mean, we didn't have to pay anything because I had an inside source to set up a private investigation. But I know, I think it was like $100 US.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was like $100 US to go in there,
That's crazy.
and that was back then. That was like 2007.
Yeah. It's probably a heck of a lot more now.
Yeah, and I mean, grant you the money that they make off this, they put towards restoring the building, which is okay. I find that, but I mean, $100 though, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
You know, you get a good size, group, 10 people. That's $1,000
Yep.
for what? What are you doing? Nothing. You're letting people walk around your building and you know telling the rest of the world that they're getting ghosts.
Hmm.
And of course, everybody else, oh, I want to go there because look at so and so experienced this there and blah blah blah. Word of mouth back then, the internet as well. And of course, it became legendary. Even to this day, I'm sure people go out in the droves to Waverly Hills.
It seems to be on a lot of people's bucket list.
Yeah, when they start off investigating the
Yeah.
paranormal, it's one of those places.
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, I want to go check that out. But I mean, I would suggest if you do want to check it out, if you have an inside source and go in there yourself. Don't go in with anyone else because they'll try to pair you up with other people.
Mm.
And if that's the case, you're never going to get a proper investigation in because you're working with other people that you know have different routines,
Yeah.
and it just makes it harder. Not saying that they're not good people. That's not what I'm saying. But the thing is, if you are going down there with the intention of carrying out a proper investigation in your books, you're not going to be able to do it if you're paired up with people from somewhere else. Or if there's another group and they're carrying out an investigation too. you're not going to get proper uh, investigation, and because you don't know what's going to be contaminated with somebody in the distance.
Yeah, it's harder to control this scenario if you're with people you're not familiar with.
And it's hard to control that environment too, as it is, because people have been known to get in there and squat and just trespass and whatnot. And you figure locals in the area know that there are people that pay literally hundreds of dollars to go in there and investigate the paranormal. Let's go play with them. Let's give them something to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But that place has, or at least it did when we were there, has security cameras everywhere. So my question was, do they have the place rigged to carry out some sort of uh, paranormal phenomenon that you don't know?
Hopefully not.
You like to think that, but I honestly would not put it past anyone in this day and age. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. You know, I mean, you have to make money, and you're not going to make money if these groups are going in and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Because word of mouth is saying, "Oh fuck, I've been in there a couple times, nothing's happened. It's boring. It's a big old empty, boring shell." And for the most case, it probably is. If you didn't hear a lot of the stories that people were telling you, especially local, like you go into like a Cracker Barrel and have something to eat before going in there and mention the word Waverly Hills. Because I remember we went in, we had our paranormal T-shirts on, a Southern Ontario Paranormal Group, and we're walking in, this big group of investigators and people at the tables are going, "Oh, there's another paranormal group going into that Waverly Hills place."
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
and then yeah, you guys all, and this happened. You had one of the people working at Cracker Barrel, that's where we went in. "You guys going to Waverly Hills?" "Yeah." "Oh, that there place has got some really freaking shit going on." And then they tell you all this stuff, and you're like, "Oh no, don't! I don't want to hear it." You know, I'll tell you all about this one time when nobody owned that place and laid abandoned, and we broke in. What? How did you break in if it's abandoned?
Hmm.
you know, is there such thing as breaking into it? There's nothing stopping you from getting inside. I mean, there was no windows. You know, so it must have been pretty easy to break into. My God, Chad is quiet.
Yeah, no.
Chad is quiet, and nobody wants to join us. Come on, let's hear. You guys are quiet, way too quiet. Is anybody in chat still? I mean, this says 13 viewers, but where are the 13 viewers? I don't see anyone. No activity. Are
Maybe we're
we?
lulling them to sleep.
Probably. But yeah, Waverly Hills. Yeah, crazy place overall. But where was this going, anyways?
I don't know. We're talking about spookiest places that we've been to or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're lurking. Hey, Todd, how are you? Gareth, how you doing, man? Yeah, it's just you know, not the craziest place I've ever been to. I mean, in terms of experiences, but I think, and I say this because of the quality and quantity of activity or experiences was probably DeForest.
Okay.
And like I said, I've had so much happen there over the years. I mean, it's been a while since we've been there, since I've been there, but
I've only been there the one time, I think.
yeah. And was that after it was fixed up?
No.
You weren't there beforehand?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's been fixed up. The Ontario Loyalist came in and fit the bill to have it fixed, and they did a wonderful job. Wonderful job. I mean, all the stones that were lying on the ground
Yeah.
in pieces, they fixed, they rebarred the stones, so and they fixed up the family plot. They cleared away all the bushes, which was what was really weird about that was all those bushes cleared away. There were so many stones that were covered that I had no idea about. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. Here are all these new names popping up, and we had been going there for years, and we never knew they were there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a ledger from or a report from a private report of a guy written by a guy who went in and documented all the people that were buried that he was able to sort of that he was able to see while he was there, and this was in the 80s. And we were, all the stuff that he was, I think I have the report. Hold on. This thing is really neat. I don't know, somewhere around. Oh, where are we at? Is it right here? No. I don't know. One of these days I'll pull it out. But it literally tells you who's buried there genealogically, that this guy was, able to do research. But there was not a lot known because it was originally a family plot. Turned out to be like a community plot in the early 1800s to mid 1800s. And as the community grew around, which is still to this day not huge, some other people from other farms were buried there too. Their families were buried there, and mostly children.
Hmm.
Due to smallpox and influenza, which were two of the hugest killers back then. So this cemetery is like littered. I wrong word terminology. Sorry, not littered, but literally filled with children.
Yeah, it's
Which
sad.
is sad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's horrible when you see this. But back then, what are you supposed to do? I mean, we didn't have the knowledge or the know-how to deal with things like smallpox and influenza back then. They wreaked havoc, and now at least we kind of got an idea how to. I mean, smallpox is eradicated now, isn't it?
It's making a comeback.
It's making a comeback, yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, for years, it was eradicated.
Pretty much eradicated, yeah.
Yeah. Take care, well known. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I know it's pretty early there in the UK. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it and watching.
Take care. Have a good night.
Have a good evening. Have a great evening. Yeah, so I don't know. It's probably one of the locations I would say is probably over the years freaked me out the most. And I will always revert back to one evening. And that one evening is when myself, Chris, um, and a couple other people were up at the up there doing some EVP work. And the one girl who was with us, Leanne, she got violently sick. Just violently sick. And we had to actually carry her back down to her car so she could sit down and just take a breather. And we're like, hey, if you gotta go, you gotta go. You're not feeling too well. And she said, no, I'm starting to feel better. I feel a lot better. It was really weird. Once we got her down from the cemetery and she was sitting down in her car, she felt a lot better. I was like, wow, that's weird. And that night we had heard what we've called ghost chatter. And you literally will be in the middle of this small little pioneer cemetery and you'll hear what sounds like several people, like lots of people talking, but whispering. You're like, what the fuck is it? That's weird.
You heard it live, or you heard
live.
it?
Yeah, live. And there's nothing there. There's the forest house in the background, but this is probably like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So there's nobody there. And the kicker was we were doing some work, audio work, and then all of a sudden I heard something and I go, shh, and you can hear me in the recording. I gotta find the recording. I have it somewhere. And you hear me go, shh. What was that growl? There's a growl in the background. Shh. And then as soon as I did that, all of a sudden you hear in the background, you hear this real loud, evil growl. Like it was like non-human. It was the eeriest fucking thing. And I'm like, what the fuck was it? And they all heard it. They're like, wow. It didn't sound like a coyote or anything like that. What the fuck is making that growl noise? Was it Bigfoot?
Maybe.
Could possibly be. Who knows? Well, I guess I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to join us. So
I don't think so.
no, I mean, I would have thought about going on a little longer if somebody wanted to join us, but I don't know.
That's classic.
I swear I can watch that over. Patrick, if you're watching. I tried to coach him to come in, but I don't think he's coming in.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He saw my message, so if he came on, I was going to play it, but he's smarter than he looks.
Yeah.
But well, we'll give it a last ditch effort. If somebody would like to join us, by all means. The link is pinned to the top. If not, then we'll probably end this soon, probably within the next 5 minutes or so. But we just figured we'd come in and sort of update you on the paranormal investigation that we covered. Unfortunately, like I said, it was late going. I think I had it starting for 9:30, and there was a few people in the chat there. Unfortunately, we were unable to get it going until later on. I think like an hour later. I think it was around 10:30, 10:45 when we actually did it. And I will make that noticeable for you guys when we finish.
Yeah, you gotta hear me scaring the shit out of Gord.
Yeah, that's classic.
That was fun.
Of course. It was interesting.
I was worried that he was gonna trip over something and fall if he had seen. That was my concern.
What's that?
My concern was that if once he saw me, that he was gonna fucking stumble and trip over something. Thankfully, he didn't do that.
No, exactly. But yeah. I should try to yank that portion out so we can.
Yeah.
I can't even wait. No, because it was YouTube live. I don't have it. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Let me just see something here. Maybe I can pull it up. Hold on. I can pull it up here. I do have the technology.
Oh, look at that, eh?
I do have the technology.
$6 million man.
Yeah, hold on. I'll just make sure. And of course, so let's see. Oh, I have to do this. Where are we? Bear with me, folks. I will make it shareable. And let's see. Edit. And then, okay. There we go. Let's see. Hold on. Pull it up. Copy. And oh fuck! I hate when it does that. Huh?
What's it doing?
It's not allowing me to copy it. Hold on. I'll get it. I got it now. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. There we go. Just almost there, guys. And okay, here we go. We're gonna play it for you guys. Okay, here we go. Just in case you missed out. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. Let me just get rid of this one here. And then here we go. Hey guys, sorry for the late entry here. But we're in the attic of the Spruce Lane Farmhouse doing a EVP session. I've got Dr. Demon Gord here with me. And Mars. I'm going to say hi, Mars.
Hi, everybody.
And Alex. Alex is in the background. Snuck up. Oh, my God. Okay. I don't know if I can.
Oh, fuck. That's classic.
Hold on a second. And Mars. I'm going to say hi, Mars.
Hi, everybody.
And Alex. Alex is in the background. Snuck up. Oh, my God. Okay. I don't know if I can. Oh, let's see. Here, listen.
Where are you? Turn the light on again.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
Recorder, now that brother shit his pants.
So we got my co-host here. Hey, man. Alex.
What's happening?
So far.
Nothing's happened to me. I just scared the shit out of
I know.
Gordon.
I got it.
Blooper reel.
Blooper reel. So nobody's getting sick. You're not getting sick.
No, not this time.
Gordo. By the way, Dr. Demonic Cord.
With the shit stain.
Worse.
Oh, that's classic.
Ah, fuck. I don't think Gord's ever going to trust me again.
No.
No.
That was
He's going
good.
to keep a keen eye on wherever I am.
I thought I heard something, but I wasn't sure. So what you opened the door. Was the door closed? It
No,
was
the door was
already
open. The door was already open.
So how did you sneak up without making noise?
I'm good at that.
Yeah, well, hey. But those stairs.
Yeah.
They're pretty steep.
They are.
So you snuck up.
Yep. You guys didn't
And-
have the light on, right? So
Well, no, I know that. So you snuck up, you came up, and then what did you do?
I just sat there, just stood there waiting. And then I was like contemplating. I go, what should I do? Should I make a noise and just scare everybody? Or just wait? And then when I saw Gord turn on his phone, like the flashlight on his phone, I started looking around. I'm like, this is too good to be true. So I just sat there, or stood there rather, and wait. And he's like looking around, and then he sees me. He's like, fucking hell.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah, that was classic.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It just, I just had a visual of Gord changing his shorts when he gets home.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, you can literally hear the turtle squeeze. It wasn't squeezing; it splattered, man.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was
Might have left a
hilarious.
few nuggets there.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Oh well.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna call it quits. Nobody's. So I think that's pretty much it for now. We've got our season 15 premiere on September 11th with Paranormal Girl.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it, man. First time she's been on.
Yep. Same here.
So that'll be cool. And we've got a few other guests. I put out a few requests to have people on, and we'll make the announcements here on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Soon. We have who else? Who else do we got?
Madam X.
Madam X is coming on.
Yep.
And a few others that we will obviously let everybody know. So, yeah, until September 11th, unless we do another bonus show, but I don't know. Probably not. We might. This might be it until we go live with the season opener.
Yeah.
Season 15. So again, that's September 11th, Sunday, September 11th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is what, 2 a.m. LT, which is London time, something like that.
Yeah, they're like 5 hours ahead. So
Yeah. So until that, guys, take care. Thanks for tuning in, watching, whoever has. Adrian, Todd, well known. Gareth and Punches and whoever else. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you soon. Take care, man.
have a good night.
Later.